Natural disasters pose enormous logistics challenges. Roads, airports, and ports are often affected, just when relief goods need to be delivered the most urgently. Agility, as a global logistics leader with a strong presence in emerging markets where natural disasters are often felt the most keenly, tries to use its network on the ground to make a difference. In partnership with the humanitarian community, Agility has responded to over 20 natural disasters since 2006, using its logistics network to help local communities around the world. Caring for our communities, responding to floods in Pakistan. In July 2010, after torrential rains, Pakistan faced its worst monsoon flood in 80 years. The impact was devastating. 20 million people were affected, over 1,700 people were killed, and 1.9 million homes were destroyed, leaving more than 10 million homeless. Public infrastructure, hospitals, schools, government buildings, and private housing collapsed. Millions were stranded with no access to food, shelter, and medicine. Food, clean drinking water, emergency shelter, and medical care were among the most urgent needs. Simply gaining access to the flood-affected areas posed serious logistical challenges to humanitarian relief organizations.
Recent floods in Pakistan has been a major disaster, destroying a large infrastructure, and over 20 million people were displaced. Agility as a company recognizes that we have to play an important role in providing the required logistic supports to the humanitarian relief operations in Pakistan.
The humanitarian community reached out to Agility, UPS, and TNT for additional on-the-ground support.
We couldn't have done this without Agility and the other partners of the LET, the Logistics Emergency Team, who have really stepped up to the plate in terms of providing the support to us, the logistic cluster, so that we in turn can support the humanitarian community.
Through an initiative known as Logistics Emergency Teams, Agility, UPS, and TNT donated transportation services and expertise to the global logistics cluster, providing an extra helping hand to those that need it the most. Within days of receiving a request from the Global Logistics Cluster, which is chaired by the World Food Program, Agility Pakistan mobilized a local network of volunteers to provide assistance on the ground.
The fact that Agility, along with the Logistics Emergency Team, is stepping in to help WFP respond to the Pakistani people's needs at this time by sharing local resources and expertise is extremely valuable to the efficient emergency response in Pakistan.
Agility's in-kind services included warehousing space and logistics services, refrigerated storage facilities, and transportation of goods to the flood-affected areas. In Multan, Agility immediately provided the UN cluster with 25,000 square feet of warehousing space for donated goods to be received and distributed. Food, shelter, hygiene products, and medical supplies were among the items initially distributed.
Agility teams are closely working with United Nations Logistics Cluster team to improve the situation for millions affected by floods.
In Succor, 7 Agility trucks were dedicated to transporting relief goods from humanitarian aid aircraft to consolidation points in Succor, Sindh. In addition, Agility provided much-needed refrigerated containers for temperature-sensitive cargo.
Agility teams are working hand-in-hand with the United Nations to establish a strong local network and on-ground expertise to help speed up relief operations.
In Islamabad, Agility provided warehousing facilities and transportation resources to its long-standing humanitarian partner, the International Medical Corps.
Agility is providing vital logistics support to the United Nations and International Medical Corps to ensure critical relief supplies reach the flood-affected people on time.
Within days of the floods, Agility's team in Pakistan realized many survivors were without assistance and in desperate need of food supplies. In response, Agility volunteers quickly created mobile distribution units. These trucks and trailers loaded with relief supplies were dispatched to remote areas around Succor and Khairpur in Sindh. where displaced citizens eagerly accepted the goods from volunteers.
As always, Agility and our LET partners have shown keen interest in volunteering their time, resources, energies in time of disaster. Our flood relief support initiative is part of our corporate social responsibility.
Shelters erected spontaneously in affected communities by local NGOs also needed assistance and supplies. To fulfill this requirement, Agility partnered with Karachi Relief Trust. Together, relief teams and volunteers distributed food, water, sanitary items, medical supplies, and Eid gifts to 1,200 survivors in the KRT relief camp at Moro Sindh. Employees in Pakistan responded on a personal level by donating a day's salary per month over a period of 3 months. Agility matched this amount to further support those affected by Pakistan's worst natural disaster ever. Agility employees around the world also contributed funds to the effort. Employees in Qatar organized a donation drive to collect clothes, blankets, and canned food items for the affected people. The Fanar Center, a non-profit organization, sent and distributed these items in Pakistan. In Kuwait, employees collected cash donations at 11 offices and also organized an online fundraiser reaching out to employees across the company's global network. In times of need, Agility tries to use its resources to make the most meaningful impact. This includes deploying top-performing employees, activating our global network of warehouses and trucks, and donating services to our humanitarian partner organizations. In Pakistan, Agility mounted a round-the-clock relief operation to help its humanitarian partners reach almost 7.4 million people. We are happy to do our part in trying to make a difference in our communities.